Have you ever been at rock bottom where the pain felt endless and hope seemed out of reach? Maybe it was heartbreak, failure, or the crushing weight of disappointment. In those moments, it's easy to feel defeated, like life is happening to you. But what if I told you that your greatest pain could become your greatest power? That suffering, no matter how intense, can be transformed into a force that drives you, shapes you, and empowers you to become unstoppable. Today we're going to uncover how to turn your deepest struggles into your strongest weapons. This isn't about pretending pain doesn't hurt. It's about understanding how to use it to build a life you've only dreamed of. Step 1, embrace pain, don't avoid it. Pain is an inevitable part of life, something we all experience, yet so many of us spend our days running from it, numbing it, or denying it exists. The truth is, avoiding pain only intensifies it. It lingers, festers, and grows stronger until it becomes a weight that holds us back from reaching our true potential. When we try to shield ourselves from discomfort, we rob ourselves of the growth that pain offers. Pain is a messenger. It signals where we need to change, adapt, and grow. It's a catalyst for transformation, a fire that burns away weakness and exposes strength. Think about the bodybuilder in the gym straining under the weight of a barbell. The pain of lifting heavy weights isn't a sign of damage, it's a sign of progress. Muscles tear and rebuild stronger. The same principle applies to the mind and spirit. When we embrace pain, instead of running from it, we acknowledge its power and choose to use it as a tool. This means stepping into discomfort, facing fears head on, and challenging ourselves to go beyond what we thought was possible. It means sitting with the pain, feeling it fully, and understanding that it is temporary but transformative. Many people spend their lives avoiding discomfort, staying in safe, predictable routines to avoid any risk of failure or rejection. But comfort zones are prisons disguised as sanctuaries. They keep us small and stagnant, whispering lies that safety and comfort are the ultimate goals. In reality, comfort breeds complacency, and complacency is the death of growth. Embracing pain means breaking free from this illusion. It's choosing short-term discomfort over long-term regret. It's refusing to settle for a life of mediocrity when greatness is possible. When you choose to confront pain, you take control of it. You decide how it will shape you. Instead of becoming a victim of your circumstances, you become the architect of your destiny. This mindset shift is powerful because it allows you to face challenges head on and emerge stronger on the other side. Embracing pain doesn't mean you enjoy suffering. It means you understand its purpose. You recognize that on the other side of pain is growth, strength, and resilience. We've all experienced situations where pain felt overwhelming. Loss, rejection, failure, or betrayal. These moments can feel like a crushing weight, but they are also moments of profound clarity. Pain strips away illusions and forces us to confront the truth about ourselves. It shows us who we are when life isn't easy. It reveals our deepest fears, insecurities, and vulnerabilities, but it also uncovers our hidden strengths and resilience. Embracing pain means acknowledging its presence without judgment or resistance. It's about understanding that pain is part of the process and that every hardship carries within it the seeds of opportunity. This mindset is not about suppressing pain or pretending it doesn't hurt. It's about accepting it, leaning into it, and letting it teach you. Pain is a teacher, and the lessons it offers are priceless. The pain of failure teaches humility, resilience, and the importance of perseverance. The pain of loss teaches us to value the present moment and cherish the people we love. The pain of rejection forces us to confront our insecurities and redefine our self-worth. Each experience, no matter how painful, holds the potential for growth and transformation if we are willing to embrace it fully. Those who achieve greatness are not the ones who never experience pain. They are the ones who learn to harness it. They are the ones who understand that pain is an essential ingredient for success, growth, and fulfillment. Embracing pain is a conscious choice. It's deciding to face challenges rather than run from them, to find strength in adversity rather than seek comfort and complacency. It's understanding that pain is a signal, a call to action, a push toward becoming something more. In step 2, reframe suffering as strength. Suffering is an experience that we instinctively resist. It's uncomfortable, unsettling, and often feels unfair. We're wired to avoid pain, to seek comfort and pleasure instead. But when we allow ourselves to be consumed by this mindset, when we label suffering as something purely negative, we give it control over us. We allow it to weaken us, to diminish our resolve, and to make us feel powerless. This perspective keeps us trapped, viewing pain as an enemy rather than an ally. However, there is a profound shift that happens when we learn to reframe suffering as strength. Reframing suffering means changing the way we perceive and interpret painful experiences. It's about recognizing that the meaning we attach to suffering determines its impact on us. Two people can endure the same hardship, yet one emerges broken while the other rises stronger than ever. The difference lies in the story they tell themselves, the way they choose to see the struggle. When we understand that suffering is not an obstacle but a stepping stone, it becomes a source of empowerment rather than despair. The very thing that threatens to break us can be transformed into the foundation of our strength. Imagine a blacksmith forging a sword. The metal must be heated, hammered, and shaped under intense pressure to become sharp and unbreakable. Without the fire, the blade remains weak and useless. In the same way, suffering can be the forge that shapes us if we let it. By reframing our perspective, we can see pain as a refining process, burning away weakness and revealing inner strength. The heat of adversity forces us to confront who we are, pushing us beyond our limits and challenging us to rise above circumstances. This shift in perspective is not about denying the reality of pain or pretending it doesn't hurt. It's about understanding that suffering can be a teacher, a guide that reveals truths about ourselves we would never discover in comfort. Pain can expose our fears, insecurities, and limitations, but it can also reveal our courage, resilience, and ability to endure. When we accept suffering as a pathway to strength, we start asking empowering questions instead of disempowering ones. Instead of asking, why me? We ask, what can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger? This mindset doesn't come easily. Our instinct is to resist pain, to complain, or to feel victimized by life's hardships. But reframing suffering requires a conscious decision to see beyond the immediate discomfort and recognize the potential for growth. It's about realizing that life doesn't happen to us, it happens for us. Every challenge, setback, or loss carries within it the potential to teach us something invaluable. When we view suffering through this lens, it stops being a burden and becomes a source of inner strength. The stories we tell ourselves shape our reality. When we say, this is too hard, we reinforce weakness. When we say, I can't handle this, we give away our power. But when we choose to say, this is making me stronger, we reclaim control. We redefine what suffering means and transform it from a source of pain into a wellspring of power. This shift doesn't eliminate the pain, it transforms it. The pain remains, but it no longer controls us. It becomes a tool, a force that drives us forward. Reframing suffering is the decision to see adversity as a challenge to be met rather than a curse to be endured. It's a decision to extract meaning from hardship and use it to fuel growth. Pain becomes the pressure that pushes us to evolve, to reach deeper into ourselves and to tap into strength we didn't know existed. This is where true power lies, not in avoiding suffering, but in mastering it. The ability to reframe suffering as strength is what separates those who crumble from those who rise. It's what turns ordinary people into warriors of resilience, capable of facing any challenge life throws their way. This perspective allows us to transcend the pain, to rise above it rather than be crushed by it. We come to understand that suffering is not a punishment, but a process of transformation. The pain itself is not the power, it's the meaning we give it and the strength we draw from it. By choosing to see suffering as a test of our character, a forge for resilience and a path to greatness, we strip it of its power to harm us. We reclaim control, choosing to be defined not by the pain we endure, but by the strength we gain from it. Reframing suffering is not a one-time decision, it's a daily practice. It requires a commitment to challenge old beliefs and rewrite the narratives we've held on to for so long. It demands courage to confront pain head-on and a willingness to embrace discomfort for the sake of growth. Over time, this mindset becomes a habit, a way of viewing life that empowers us to face challenges with confidence and strength. The pain doesn't disappear, but it becomes purposeful fuel for the fire that drives us forward. When we choose to see suffering as strength, we realize that life's greatest trials can become our greatest triumphs. The moments that test us most profoundly are the same moments that define us. It's in these moments of pain and struggle that we discover who we truly are and what we're truly capable of. Suffering becomes a pathway to greatness, a transformative force that shapes us into the strongest, most resilient versions of ourselves. Step 3, turn pain into a driving force. Pain is a universal experience, an unavoidable aspect of life that touches everyone at some point. It arrives uninvited, often disrupting our plans, shaking our sense of security, and forcing us to confront uncomfortable truths. The initial response to pain is often resistance. We fight it, deny it, or try to numb it away. But pain is persistent, and ignoring it only gives it more power. When we choose to turn pain into a driving force, we make a fundamental decision to harness it instead of letting it control us. We transform it from a source of suffering into a source of strength, using it as fuel to push forward and create something meaningful. Turning pain into a driving force starts with a decision, a refusal to be defined or defeated by hardship. This mindset doesn't deny the reality of pain or dismiss its intensity. It acknowledges the hurt, the heartbreak, the fear, and the frustration, but it also recognizes that pain carries within it a powerful energy. When we resist pain, that energy festers, leading to bitterness, resentment, or self-pity. When we embrace pain and choose to channel it, that same energy becomes a force for change, a motivator that drives us to achieve more than we ever thought possible. Pain has a unique ability to create clarity. In moments of deep struggle, the distractions of life fall away, leaving only the raw truth of who we are and what truly matters. When everything else is stripped away, pain reveals our deepest desires, motivations, and priorities. It exposes what we truly want and what we are willing to fight for. Pain can push us to make decisions we've been avoiding, to take risks we've been too afraid to take, and to break free from the chains of complacency. It's often in our darkest moments that we find the resolve to change our lives. Think of those who have achieved greatness. Many of their stories are marked by pain, hardship, and adversity. The common thread is not that they avoided pain, but that they harnessed it. They transformed suffering into a burning desire to create, achieve, and overcome. Pain became their driving force, propelling them toward greatness instead of pulling them into despair. They used it as a reminder of what was at stake, as proof of their resilience, and as a reason to rise above their circumstances. The decision to turn pain into a driving force is a choice to reclaim power. It's about refusing to be a victim and instead becoming the author of your story. When pain strikes, it often brings feelings of helplessness, like life is happening to you, beyond your control. But choosing to harness pain means deciding that life happens for you, not to you. It's about recognizing that even the darkest moments hold the potential for growth, strength, and transformation. Pain becomes a challenge, a call to action, a reason to push harder, dig deeper, and rise higher. This mindset shift requires intentionality. It's easy to let pain make us bitter, to retreat into self-pity, or to accept defeat. But when you consciously decide to turn pain into a driving force, you commit to finding purpose in the suffering. You ask yourself powerful questions. How can I use this pain to become stronger? What lesson is hidden in this struggle? How can this experience fuel my growth and drive me toward my goals? These questions reframe pain from something meaningless and cruel into something purposeful and transformative. Turning pain into a driving force also means letting it become a source of motivation. It's the feeling of hitting rock bottom and deciding you'll never feel this way again. It's the heartbreak that drives you to redefine yourself, the failure that fuels your determination to succeed, the rejection that inspires you to prove yourself. Pain can ignite a fire within, a relentless drive to overcome, succeed, and thrive. It becomes the push you need to break through limitations, conquer fears, and reach heights you never thought possible. This transformation doesn't mean the pain goes away. It's not about erasing the hurt or pretending it didn't happen. It's about using that hurt to ignite a passion for change. Pain becomes the reminder of what's possible when you refuse to quit. It sharpens your focus, deepens your resolve, and drives you to put in the work, make sacrifices, and stay committed to your goals. Pain is no longer a burden. It becomes the fuel that keeps you going when the journey gets tough. This process can be challenging, especially when the pain feels overwhelming or unrelenting. It takes courage to confront suffering head on, to accept it, and to extract strength from it. But the alternative, allowing pain to consume and control you, is far worse. When you decide to turn pain into a driving force, you regain control over your life. You refuse to let pain define you or limit you. Instead, you use it as a springboard to greatness. Pain, when harnessed, becomes a constant reminder of what you're capable of enduring. It serves as proof that you are stronger than you think and more resilient than you know. Each step forward becomes a victory, a testament to your ability to rise above adversity and keep moving forward. The deeper the pain, the greater the strength that can emerge from it. Every time you turn pain into a driving force, you reinforce the truth that nothing can break you. This perspective empowers you to face challenges head on, knowing that every hardship can serve a purpose. It builds a mindset of resilience, grit, and unshakable determination. The energy of pain transforms into a relentless pursuit of your goals, dreams, and vision. You stop waiting for circumstances to change and start creating change from within. Pain no longer weakens you. It becomes the force that propels you forward, faster and harder than before. The choice to turn pain into a driving force is a declaration of power. It's a statement that no matter what life throws your way, you will use it to rise higher, push further, and achieve more. The pain itself becomes insignificant in the face of the strength it produces. You realize that the very thing you once feared or despised now fuels your drive, sharpens your focus, and propels you toward greatness. This mindset is not about denying the reality of pain, but about mastering it. It's a decision to let pain be the wind in your sails rather than the anchor that drags you down. You become a force of nature, relentless, unstoppable, and resilient. Pain becomes your ally, your motivator, and your strength. The journey may not get easier, but you become stronger, capable of facing whatever comes your way with unyielding resolve. Step 4, pain exposes your true self. Pain is a mirror, a ruthless, unrelenting reflection of who we truly are. In moments of comfort and ease, it's easy to wear masks, hide behind facades, and present a version of ourselves that aligns with how we want to be seen. But when life strikes hard, when we are stripped of our comforts and confronted with raw suffering, our true nature is laid bare. Pain exposes everything, the good, the bad, the hidden, and the unacknowledged. It peels away the layers of pretense and forces us to confront our deepest fears, desires, strengths, and weaknesses. In these moments of intense pain, when the world feels heavy and unyielding, we learn more about ourselves than we ever could in times of ease. It's easy to be confident, strong, and composed when life is going smoothly. It's easy to talk about resilience, faith, and determination when you're not being tested. But pain demands honesty. It reveals what truly drives us, what we truly believe, and who we really are. When everything is stripped away, status, comfort, routine, what remains is our essence, unguarded and unfiltered. Pain reveals how much we trust ourselves and how much we value ourselves. It forces us to confront the inner voices that whisper doubts and fears. The thoughts we usually suppress rise to the surface, impossible to ignore. Pain has a way of bringing out our inner critic, the voice that questions our worth, magnifies our flaws, and tells us we aren't enough. But in that same moment, pain also presents an opportunity, a chance to confront these voices, challenge them, and discover inner strength. It tests our resolve and asks, what are you made of? How much can you endure? Will you rise, or will you break? The way we respond to pain speaks volumes. It reveals the extent of our courage, the depth of our character, and the strength of our convictions. When we're under pressure, we can't fake confidence or pretend to be strong. Pain forces us to dig deep, to reach places within ourselves that we never knew existed. It strips away excuses and demands that we face the truth about our fears, our insecurities, and the limiting beliefs we've held on to for far too long. It asks us to confront uncomfortable truths about who we are and who we want to become. Pain also exposes our values. It clarifies what truly matters to us and what is merely superficial. In moments of suffering, we find out what we're willing to fight for, what we're willing to sacrifice, and what we refuse to compromise on. Pain can awaken a fierce determination, a refusal to let hardship define us. It can deepen our love for the people who stand by us and sharpen our awareness of what truly brings meaning to our lives. It forces us to reassess our priorities and question whether we are living in alignment with our true selves. For many, pain reveals the strength they never knew they had. It shows us that we are far more resilient than we imagined, capable of enduring hardship and rising above it. We realize that we can handle more than we thought, that we can face fears we once avoided, and that we can push through challenges that once seemed insurmountable. Pain strips away the illusion of weakness and exposes the strength we didn't know was there. It builds resilience, hardens resolve, and awakens a warrior spirit within us. But pain can also reveal vulnerabilities we've been unwilling to confront. It forces us to acknowledge fears we've ignored and insecurities we've buried deep. It can bring out feelings of inadequacy, self-doubt, and helplessness, feelings that we often avoid facing. These moments can be brutal, but they are also moments of truth. Pain forces us to see ourselves with honesty, stripping away illusions and leaving only what is real. It's in these raw, unfiltered moments that we have the opportunity to confront our inner demons and begin the process of healing and growth. In this way, pain is a revealer of truth. It exposes not just the weaknesses we hide, but also the strengths we possess. It shows us what we are truly capable of enduring, how deeply we care, and what we are willing to fight for. Pain exposes our tenacity, our grit, and our resolve. It forces us to make choices, to either let the pain define us or to let it refine us. Those who rise in the face of suffering are those who choose to confront the truth, accept it, and use it as a catalyst for growth. Pain also reveals the quality of our relationships. In times of hardship, we see who truly stands by us, who offers support, love, and understanding when life is at its darkest. It exposes the strength of our connections and the authenticity of our bonds. We learn who we can rely on, who genuinely cares, and who merely offers empty words. Pain can deepen relationships, building unbreakable bonds through shared struggle and vulnerability. It exposes the true nature of those around us and gives us a clear understanding of who belongs in our lives. Perhaps most profoundly, pain exposes the relationship we have with ourselves. It shows us how we treat ourselves in moments of suffering, whether we are compassionate and supportive or harsh and critical. It forces us to confront our inner dialogue and recognize whether we are our own worst enemy or our greatest ally. Pain demands self-reflection and self-awareness. It challenges us to accept ourselves, flaws and all, and to understand that true strength comes from embracing vulnerability. Pain exposes not only who we are in the present, but also who we have the potential to become. It reveals the areas where we need to grow, the beliefs we need to challenge, and the patterns we need to break. It shows us where we are holding ourselves back and gives us the opportunity to make a choice, to stay the same or to evolve. Pain is a catalyst for change, a force that pushes us toward transformation if we are willing to face it head on. When we allow pain to reveal our true selves, we gain a deeper understanding of who we are at our core. We see ourselves without filters or masks, stripped of illusions and pretenses. This raw self-awareness is a gift, albeit a painful one. It forces us to confront the truth, but it also empowers us to make meaningful changes, to break free from limiting beliefs, and to step into our true potential. Pain is a relentless teacher, and its lessons are often uncomfortable, but they are also transformative. Pain exposes the fears we must overcome, the wounds we need to heal, and the strength we have yet to realize. It reveals the gap between who we are and who we could be, challenging us to close that distance. In this way, pain is a mirror that reflects not just our flaws and weaknesses, but also our courage, resilience, and potential. It forces us to see ourselves as we truly are and invites us to become more stronger, wiser, and more authentic. Pain is a harsh but honest mirror revealing truths we cannot ignore and guiding us toward becoming the person we were always meant to be. Step 5, master emotional pain to gain control. Emotional pain is one of the most challenging forms of suffering we can experience. It's intangible, invisible to the outside world, yet it can feel heavier than any physical burden. Unlike a wound or injury that can be treated and healed over time, emotional pain often lingers, affecting how we think, feel, and behave. It can distort our perspective, cloud our judgment, and lead us down a spiral of negative emotions. Fear, anger, sadness, resentment, and despair. When left unchecked, emotional pain can control us, dictating our actions and limiting our potential. But when we learn to master emotional pain, we reclaim power over our lives. It becomes a tool rather than a tormentor, a force we can leverage instead of a prison that confines us. Mastering emotional pain starts with acceptance. Too often we resist emotional pain, trying to ignore it, suppress it, or numb it with distractions. We bury it deep, hoping it will disappear on its own, but unresolved pain doesn't fade away. It festers, manifesting as stress, anxiety, or self-destructive behaviors. The first step toward mastery is acknowledging the pain instead of running from it. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation or passivity. It means facing the pain head on and allowing yourself to feel it fully. It's about admitting that you're hurting, being honest with yourself, and recognizing the impact it's having on your life. This level of self-awareness is the foundation for growth. Once you've acknowledged the pain, the next step is to understand it. Emotional pain often stems from deeper issues, unmet needs, unhealed wounds, or unresolved conflicts. It can be triggered by loss, rejection, failure, or betrayal, but the intensity of the pain is often linked to the meaning we attach to these events. A breakup, for instance, may hurt deeply not just because of the relationship's end, but because of the beliefs we form about ourselves. I'm unlovable, I'm not good enough, or I'll always be alone. To master emotional pain, we must identify the root cause and challenge the disempowering beliefs that keep us stuck. This requires honest introspection, a willingness to question our thoughts, and the courage to confront painful truths. Emotional pain is intensified by the stories we tell ourselves. Our inner dialogue shapes how we interpret experiences, whether we see setbacks as temporary challenges or as proof of our inadequacy. When we allow negative self-talk to run unchecked, we reinforce patterns of suffering. Mastering emotional pain means taking control of our inner narrative. It means becoming aware of the limiting beliefs that fuel our pain and replacing them with empowering alternatives. Instead of saying I'm a failure, we can say I made a mistake, but I can learn from it. Instead of thinking no one cares about me, we can recognize I'm struggling, but I am worthy of love and connection. Changing our inner dialogue takes practice, but it's a powerful step toward gaining control. Emotional mastery also requires us to shift our perspective on pain itself. Instead of viewing pain as something to be avoided at all costs, we can see it as an opportunity for growth. Pain can be a powerful teacher, revealing our values, priorities, and desires. It can highlight areas of our lives that need change or healing. When we choose to see pain as a signal rather than a setback, we gain control over how we respond to it. Pain becomes a prompt to take action, to make changes, seek support, or strengthen our inner resolve. This shift in perspective empowers us to use pain constructively, turning a source of suffering into a catalyst for growth. A critical aspect of mastering emotional pain is learning to regulate our emotions. Pain often triggers intense feelings, anger, sadness, fear that can feel overwhelming. Emotional regulation involves developing the skills to process and manage these feelings in a healthy way. This can include mindfulness techniques such as deep breathing, meditation, and grounding exercises, which help us stay present and prevent emotions from spiraling out of control. It can also involve identifying triggers and developing coping strategies such as journaling, talking to a trusted friend, or engaging in physical activity. When we learn to regulate our emotions, we regain control over how we respond to pain instead of being ruled by it. Another powerful tool in mastering emotional pain is reframing. Reframing involves changing the way we interpret painful experiences. Instead of focusing on the hurt, we focus on the lessons. We ask ourselves, what can I learn from this? Or how can this experience make me stronger? By finding meaning in our suffering, we transform it from a source of weakness into a source of strength. This doesn't mean denying the pain or pretending it's easy. It means choosing to see value in the struggle. When we reframe emotional pain, we turn hardship into an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. Emotional mastery also requires self-compassion. Often when we're hurting, we become our harshest critics. We blame ourselves for our pain, judge ourselves for struggling, and feel ashamed of our vulnerability. This self-criticism only deepens the pain and reinforces feelings of inadequacy. Self-compassion involves treating ourselves with the same kindness, understanding, and support we would offer a friend in distress. It means acknowledging our pain without judgment, accepting our imperfections, and giving ourselves permission to heal. Self-compassion is not self-pity. It's a recognition of our shared humanity and the courage it takes to face life's challenges. Mastering emotional pain is a process, not a one-time decision. It requires patience, persistence, and a willingness to confront uncomfortable emotions. It demands honesty, vulnerability, and the courage to face inner wounds. Over time, this process builds resilience, the ability to navigate life's challenges with strength and grace. Emotional mastery doesn't mean never feeling pain. It means no longer being controlled by it. It's about learning to ride the waves of emotion rather than being swept away by them. When we master emotional pain, we gain control over our responses, choices, and mindset. We stop being reactive and start being proactive. Pain becomes a tool for transformation, a guide for personal growth, and a reminder of our strength. We reclaim power over our lives, no longer defined by our suffering, but shaped by how we rise above it. Emotional mastery gives us the ability to face life's storms with resilience, knowing that pain is not a barrier, but a bridge to deeper strength and understanding. It becomes a source of wisdom and inner power, enabling us to navigate life's challenges with confidence and grace. Step 6, channel pain into purpose. When pain strikes, it often feels like an insurmountable obstacle, a force that disrupts our lives, consumes our thoughts, and leaves us questioning our strength and resolve. But what if pain could be more than just a source of suffering? What if, instead of letting it break us, we could harness it and use it as fuel to create something meaningful? The most powerful way to transcend pain is to channel it into a greater purpose, transforming it from a crippling force into a driving motivation. This is the essence of turning pain into purpose, taking what was meant to harm or hinder us and using it to elevate ourselves and others. Channeling pain into purpose begins with a conscious decision to redefine the meaning of pain. Too often we see pain as something unfair, a punishment, or a sign that life is against us. This mindset traps us in a cycle of self-pity, resentment, and bitterness. But when we choose to see pain as a powerful motivator, a catalyst for change, and a source of strength, everything shifts. Pain becomes a teacher rather than a tormentor. It becomes a call to action, a challenge to rise above our circumstances and use the experience to create something impactful. This shift in perspective doesn't eliminate the pain, but transforms how we respond to it. We begin to see pain as a resource, raw energy that can be shaped and directed towards something meaningful. To channel pain into purpose, we must first understand what the pain is trying to teach us. Pain often arises from deeply held desires, values, or beliefs. It can highlight what truly matters to us, revealing passions and priorities that we might have overlooked in moments of comfort. For instance, the pain of losing a loved one can deepen our appreciation for relationships, motivating us to cherish connections and express love openly. The pain of failure can ignite a drive for self-improvement, pushing us to refine our skills and become better. Even the pain of injustice can awaken a fierce determination to fight for change, advocating for those who suffer similarly. When we listen to our pain and extract its lessons, we discover the values and convictions that fuel our sense of purpose. Once we identify what matters to us, we can channel our pain into actions that align with those values. This often means turning personal struggles into a mission to help others. Many of the most impactful movements, organizations, and innovations were born from deep personal pain. A person who has experienced addiction might become a mentor for those in recovery. Someone who has faced discrimination may become an advocate for equality. Those who have known the depths of grief may start support groups, provide counseling, or write books to help others navigate loss. By using personal experiences to make a difference, pain becomes a tool for positive change. It becomes a source of empathy, allowing us to connect deeply with others and understand their struggles on a profound level. Channeling pain into purpose is not just about helping others, it's about reclaiming control over our narrative. When we choose to use our pain constructively, we shift from being victims of circumstance to authors of our own story. We decide how the story ends, whether the pain defines us or becomes a stepping stone to greatness. This sense of agency is empowering. It reminds us that we are not powerless in the face of suffering. Even when we cannot change what happened, we can choose how we respond. This choice is where our true power lies. It's important to recognize that channeling pain into purpose doesn't mean dismissing or minimizing the pain. It's not about pretending the hurt isn't real or forcing ourselves to get over it. Pain demands to be felt, and the process of transformation requires acknowledgement, acceptance, and healing. But rather than letting pain consume us, we learn to harness it, taking the energy of raw emotion and redirecting it towards something meaningful. It's about making the pain work for us instead of against us. The process may be challenging, requiring time, reflection, and perseverance, but the result is a sense of fulfillment that transcends the pain itself. Channeling pain into purpose also involves setting goals that align with our values. These goals give us direction, focus, and a sense of progress. When pain feels overwhelming, having a clear purpose keeps us grounded, reminding us of the bigger picture. Purpose gives pain context. It transforms suffering from a random, meaningless experience into a step toward a greater vision. Even small actions toward our purpose can alleviate feelings of helplessness and despair. They remind us that we are capable of making a difference, even if the path forward is challenging. Another powerful way to channel pain is through self-expression. Art, writing, music, and other creative outlets allow us to give voice to our pain, turning it into something tangible. These forms of expression can be deeply cathartic, offering a release for emotions we struggle to articulate. Sharing our creations can also resonate with others, offering solace to those who feel alone in their struggles. Creativity transforms pain into beauty, a testament to the strength and resilience of the human spirit. Channeling pain into purpose can also mean finding strength in adversity. Some of the world's most inspiring figures were shaped by immense hardship, individuals who used their struggles to fuel greatness. They refused to let pain define them and instead made it a driving force. This mindset requires a deep sense of commitment, a resolve to turn suffering into strength, and an unwavering belief that the pain has a higher purpose. It's about refusing to be defeated, choosing instead to rise above and create something extraordinary. Pain can also be channeled into personal growth. We can use it to identify areas where we need to change, heal, or evolve. Pain can be a mirror reflecting back the parts of ourselves that need attention, whether it's unresolved trauma, limiting beliefs, or destructive habits. By facing our pain, we become aware of what's holding us back and can take steps to break free from old patterns. This transformation requires courage, vulnerability, and the willingness to confront uncomfortable truths. But in the process, we emerge stronger, wiser, and more aligned with our true selves. Ultimately, channeling pain into purpose is about choosing empowerment over victimhood. It's about recognizing that pain, no matter how intense, can be a powerful motivator. It pushes us to create, connect, and contribute. It reminds us of what truly matters and drives us to make an impact. The choice to turn pain into purpose is a declaration that we will not be defined by our suffering, but by how we rise above it. It's a refusal to be broken, a commitment to growth, and a testament to the strength of the human spirit. When we transform pain into purpose, we find meaning in the struggle and emerge with a deeper sense of fulfillment, knowing that our greatest challenges have become the source of our greatest contributions. The truth is, pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Life will test you, push you, and at times bring you to your knees. But how you respond to that pain is what defines you. You can let it break you, keep you stuck, and rob you of your potential, or you can make the decision to transform it into power. Pain can be a prison, or it can be a tool. It's up to you. When you choose to embrace your pain instead of avoiding it, you gain the strength to face any challenge. When you reframe your suffering as strength, you unlock resilience and inner power. When you turn your pain into a driving force, you find the fuel to achieve greatness. When pain exposes your true self, you discover who you really are and what you're truly capable of. When you master emotional pain, you gain control over your life, no longer a prisoner to your emotions. And when you channel pain into purpose, you turn tragedy into triumph, making your suffering a source of meaning, fulfillment, and contribution. Every powerful story, every great achievement, and every profound transformation was born from struggle. Those who rise are not the ones who avoid pain, but the ones who embrace it, who learn from it, and who use it to fuel their journey. So the question is not, how can I avoid pain, but rather, how can I use it? Will you let pain defeat you, or will you let it drive you? Decide today. Decide to use your pain as your greatest ally, your most powerful weapon, and your path to becoming unstoppable. The power is already within you. It always has been. The choice is yours.